Head's too low. Head's too low, guys gotta kind of head on the mat, be a little lazy. You know, it's a wide step. Elbow deep in the back of the knee. That little modified chest lock that I was talking about to a straight leg. All right, inside switch, lift it up, punch, cradle. All right, that was the last one we did. Before that, head's a little higher. Guys looking to cut us back. Head's around my stomach area. All right, baseball slide, capture, same way. That chest wrap, elbow in the back of the knee as we kind of throw them through. Post, grab leg, hip heist, cradle. All right, and then the first one is when we kind of drag his head with the inside of our thigh, right? So on all of them, we jam, and then it's kind of like step two. Step two is different depending on the level of his head, right? Jam, wide step, legs are in that shape of the M, drag as we punch, and then cradle, drive over, all right? I told you we would talk about finishing as well, all right? So, can I use you, bud? You can go down here, turn this way, all right? So remember, yep. Oh, no, you're good, no, just dragging your head to your knee, right here. Okay, all right, we put him in that little cradle sandwich here, all right, with his ear on his shoulder, knee in his armpit, all right? My lock, okay, we're gonna do this like you're gut wrenching, all right? Butterfly lock here, all right? Elbows tight to your body, pull everything tight right here, okay? This is my lock position. I wanna throw him to his hip. So on all of these, the only one I said is, remember, if for some reason you made a mistake and you didn't have enough drive from that straight leg cradle, all right, here, if you didn't have enough drive and you had to take him over his head, but we always hip heist back on top, all right? What drives me nuts is when we get a good cradle and people want to finish it by laying on their back, all right? Who watches like WWE, all right? Anytime they're trying to get a fall, the guy is like off to the side, trying to pin him like this. 1, 2, and he kicks out always at like 2.5, right? For the first 10 times. All right, I don't want to pin him like that. Now, that doesn't mean I won't get into that position. I mean, there's sometimes you got some guys that are really flattening out and you have a hard time taking them over and you really got to crunch them over. But as soon as I get him in criteria, if I'm on my back, I always hip heist back on top. But before that, the way I want to finish this cradle, I have him tight. I'm going to put him on his hip. Right here, here's what's happening. We're putting the guy on his hip here, and since we're kind of out in front of his head, we're rolling. We're already rolling too much, and that's why he's kind of on top of my shoulder and I'm on my back. Yes, I'm getting back points, but that's not a place where you get the fall. All right, so once I hip him down, I want to tee up on him. So I'll kind of run my feet towards his feet, right here. Now we're making a letter T, all right? So we're perpendicular, all right? So he's on his hip, okay? I'm gonna actually, rather than driving him, so I'm not gonna stick my head in the hole and I'm not gonna kind of bulldoze him over. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull him underneath, all right? So, because if he flattens out, go ahead and flatten out. Like pull that leg flat, right, like this. If I start driving, go flat, to your belly, to your belly, to your belly. Like I start driving, he's like this, I'm not gonna be able to drive him over, he's gonna keep sliding. So rather than that, I'm gonna pull him under, and my goal is to get him from this hip to like his tailbone, all right? So I might drive, but pull back. I pull back and I kind of do this motion with my arms, all right? And what that's gonna do is put him from hip to his back, to his lower back. So drive to get him to his hip, and then as I lean back, sit on my heels, I pull him under, like that. All right. So now he's in the spot that I want, and I'm gonna settle in. The other thing that I want to try to do is this knee. This knee is in my rib area right now when I have my cradle. Okay, it's under my stomach. Everybody see this? How his knee is under my belly or in my chest. While I pull him from hip to tailbone, I'm gonna kind of finesse this left arm, do this kind of like snake motion with my arm to get this knee to pop out to like my neck area. All right? So it goes from my chest as I lift him and I'm pulling him from hip to butt. I want that knee to pop through. And now it's in my neck. All right? Now I just settle in. It's tight around his neck here. He'll tell you he feels a little choke. Don't choke your partner, but as I settle in, leg pop through, this blocks the pressure that I can put on this neck, all right, and take some air out of him to get the fall, okay? When that leg pops through, I'm good, all right? Now, I kind of get, I'm not teed up, I actually kind of get more like this, all right, like a letter X, all right, like a skinny X. So I actually step in the middle, and post on my head right here, all right? 3 posts. I don't hook this. I don't step in and hook and fall off. All right, head could pop out or I could lose it. Rather, I step in the middle. I use my forehead as a post, wide feet, and settle in right here. All right. So you're gonna go out there. You're gonna hit any of the 3 cradles. All right, head drag, baseball slide, straight leg. Get the cradle, put him on his hip. Suck him up into you, put him on his butt, like try to get that knee to pop through, and then settle in by stepping in his feet, and you'll be in a little tripod. Head, 2 wide feet. All right? Let's try it. 1, 2, 3.